Okay. Let's assume our positions. Right? Oh.
Okay.
It's a common occurrence for males, 1 in 5. But we got to get this thing some support. All right, welcome back to the show. It's Pass Me to Rock, the 17th of November, 2021. Hold on, not the camera. I'm going to fix that there. Hold on 1 second.
All right. Yep.
There it goes. Ooh.
What are you doing? There you go.
Fix the camera.
There you go.
Fixing the camera. I told you what I was doing, Jerry.
Just turning back now slowly. But
is it really? Well, we get like a little pan shot of us doing our thing. That looks funny. All right. I came to rest there.
Same exact.
not the same exact place because you can actually see
it's still moving.
It is?
No,
it's not. It's good. It's good. Well, welcome back to the show. We got a lot of sports news we can chop it up about. We didn't bring anything for the Jerry and Coop review segment.
No.
We'll just we'll put that off until one day we finally decide that we want to actually do it.
Did you hear the new Taylor Swift album?
No, I did not.
No,
I'm not the. You know what? This might be a hot take. Yeah, since I knew it. I knew Sid was going to give us the glare from inside the producer's booth. I don't listen to any of Taylor Swift's music.
Oh, no, that's a lie. Do you know one of her songs at least?
I know a couple of her songs for sure. She's not a bad artist.
Which ones?
Oh boy. Well, like which one is about her ex? Is that all of them?
That joke missed.
It's not a joke.
They're all. I mean, like she writes a lot about.
I'm just saying. I'm less so joking. I just want to see Sid's reaction.
You've never even heard like "Shake It Off"?
Oh, "Shake It Off" is a good one. I like "Shake It Off." I like "Shake It Off."
It was good.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
The new one. Well, but it was like kind of similar, but I mean, like that's kind of like they're all re-recordings. Well, the 10-minute song, like halfway through, was like, oh, is this wrapping up? No, there was still another 5 minutes on it. I didn't realize it was 10 minutes before I started listening. I was like, oh wow, this has been a while.
Well, there's always some songs like that.
Shout out Jake Gyllenhaal got toasted.
He did? Did he date her?
That's who it's about, yeah.
Oh boy, Jake Gyllenhaal. A lot of people tell me I look like him.
Then you got roasted.
I got roasted, I guess, by Taylor Swift. And that's why I didn't listen to the album. Wait, hold on, Sid. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up if all of Taylor Swift's music, or a large majority, let's just say 75%, is about her exes. And be honest. I don't know if you're a fan or not. It seems like you might be.
Yeah, no, it's around there.
Around that? Well, what would you say is an accurate percentage? 75? Yeah. So I was on the dot. Yeah. I mean, it's good music.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
It's good music. I'm feeling 22.
Yeah, that's another good one.
There you go. See, I don't know the names of the songs. I just know like the sounds. The same thing with Lizzo. Like I like some of her music. I just wouldn't be able to name the record.
It's similar.
It's similar.
I mean, it's not at all, but
how is it not similar?
Huh?
Is it not? Am I digging my own grave here?
Lizzo and Taylor Swift, not really the same genre.
Well, they're kind of more like uplifting. No, I guess Taylor Swift's more like, getting over a breakup type of stuff, but
that's not always true.
Not always true, but like Lizzo's is definitely more like women empowerment, which is what I like jam into some of that. But
I guess that review fell short.
I guess so. Well, that's a little review segment right there. Did you hear the album?
I did. No, it was good.
Did you like it?
Like a lot of it was like it's a re-recording, so it's not going to be like completely different, but like it was good.
A re-recording.
Yeah, like I don't know the specifics, but like she signed a contract when she first was like coming up, and it was like really bad to the point where she was like not owning any of her stuff. But then she got out of it, and now she's like re-recording everything because now she owns the rights to like her stuff now.
Well, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
that happens a lot with especially in the music industry with big record labels.
I mean, like it's like it's the same. Like she's re-recording the same songs, but they're like she's like adding like little like different touches to it. So like it sounds the same, but like every once in a while you hear something, you'll be like, oh, that's new.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, I guess you know what? I will listen to the album and then I will bring it in next week.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'll bring it in to talk about it. I'm not going to bring in the album itself. I'm not going to buy it, but I also don't have Apple Music, so I got to find a way to.
YouTube?
Not anymore. Maybe YouTube. But
everything's on YouTube.
All right, we want to talk about some sports? I feel like I'm getting personally cornered here. But
yeah,
I'm kidding around.
Oh my Jesus, dude.
Okay, let's talk about some Odell Beckham Jr. Falling flat, not the best debut with the Rams.
I did say his impact I wouldn't care about. Like it would go poorly if he didn't go to the Patriots. So far, so good.
I mean, listen, whether or not that was a biased Patriots fan take, we can't deny the legitimacy of your claim.
Well, let's call it what it is. One game, 4 days after you sign, it makes the entirety of your career there, and that's it. He's now, he's never going to be good again because he played one
bad game,
barely. I mean, like because he only signed like 4 days before, and I mean they got smoked.
I feel like that really is us being a good news or sports news outlet right there. If we just like one bad game, we're immediately like his career's over.
No,
he's toast.
But yeah, I mean, like that's now back-to-back times too that they've gotten smoked, and the 49ers have not been good lately.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, obviously, if you're a team, you want to see an investment play out. But as you said, I mean, I think the kid has time to grow. The kid who's older than both of us and is much more athletic. The man, I should say.
Yeah,
the man has time to grow. I think this is an experiment, an ongoing experiment in progress. So I want to see the future.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, yeah. I mean, plus Robert Woods tore his ACL, so now he's gonna have a bigger role than he was intended to before. But
I guess that'll be the test of what we were talking about when he gets that bigger role. How is he going to perform? Because as we said on the Browns, he wasn't really getting much play.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously, I'm joking. Like their returns are far too. I mean,
yeah.
The other night, like again, like that, whether he played well or not, that had nothing to do with whether it was actually going to end up. Like it's really the last few games and then the playoff run. That's kind of how you're going to judge it because that's really what he's there for. He's not really making big money or anything like that. They came out of nowhere at the end. Nobody really had them in his list.
I was
of
very
priorities.
surprised. I was very, very surprised when I saw it on Instagram.
I have no idea how the Rams can just be allowed to continue to sign big name players and like trade. I mean, it seems like they shouldn't even have any first round picks for the next 50 years, but they always find a way to trade another one. They haven't picked in the first round since 2016 or 17.
Well, they haven't really been decent, correct? I mean,
the Rams, they've been really good.
Have they? I thought
they make the playoffs every year. They went to the playoffs last year.
Went to the playoffs last year?
They went to they missed the year before, then they went to the Super Bowl the year before that.
It really wouldn't explain why they have so many first, because I was gonna say if they were terrible and then they just could collect and sit there and get higher round draft picks, that would make sense. But
yeah, I would say they've made the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years.
Oh, it's not bad at all. And then
I'd say Super Bowl, they've won a playoff game the last few times they've been there. They went to the Super Bowl. Yeah. They lost, but they went there.
No, they did.
And the last time they picked in the first round was like when they drafted Jared Goff, like 5 years ago now.
All right.
No, yeah, I mean they've been good for a while. They haven't really been able to get up there, but in fairness,
they kind of middle of the pack or a little bit above average.
No, they've been above average for sure.
But they just haven't been able to get it done.
They just haven't hit the top yet. But...
Okay. All right. Well, again, yeah, time to grow. Space to grow. I mean, we're getting into the later end of the year, though, so they might need to hurry it up a little bit.
Well, they are, 7-3 or something like that, 6-3. Like, they still... there's still like, the NFC to me, there's, like, 5 good teams. Like, there's, like, the Packers, the Bucks, the Cowboys, the Cardinals, and then the Rams. And then after that, you can make a case for the Saints. You can make a case for but like none of those teams are like there. Like after those 5 teams, there's a significant gap in talent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to see how they pan out.
Yeah. I mean, and the other team too now that's keeping an eye on is the Panthers. They brought back
Cam, and Cam had himself a game. I think his first game back.
I mean, like he played more than I thought he would, but he only played like a handful of series. He scored 2 touchdowns, threw 1, ran for the other. And then he started yelling, "I'm back," which I thought was really funny. But I like Cam. I hope he does well.
He brings the energy. He's electric.
I like Cam. I hope he does well. And yeah, he's electric. I liked the Cam Newton era in New England, even if it only lasted a year. They were not good, but like he was kind of fun to have around and watch.
Well, that's the whole thing with Cam Newton is he's on the field. I mean, obviously he had his MVP season.
Yeah, and he's not that guy anymore.
He's not that guy anymore, but he was the one thing we could say that is always going to be there with Cam is his energy. I mean, and he's a personality for sure.
And in the right system, which the Patriots were not, the Panthers are, like he can be a very competent quarterback, which is what they did not have beforehand in Sam Darnold.
Oh, I thought you meant off the field system. I was like, Cam's kind of just like a say anything type of guy, very energetic.
No, I'm talking about like the Patriots. Like they need like they don't need a guy like Cam who can go out and make plays with. Like they need a guy in the pocket that can just act like Cam. For all he is, has not ever been an above average quarterback in terms of accuracy. Like he's always been inaccurate. Like.
Yeah.
He's always had a big arm and he can make plays with his leg, extend plays, stuff like that. He's dangerous. But in terms of a pure accuracy standpoint, he's never been that. He never will be that. especially as his shoulder deteriorates, as it's already been. The Patriots need somebody that can just get their guys the ball.
Yeah.
And while Cam can do a lot of other things better, there's a reason that they stuck with Mac. He's just a far more accurate quarterback.
That's what I was going to say. If I think Patriots, I'm not exactly thinking this athletic quarterback. No offense to Tom Brady, but I'm not exactly thinking of an overly athletic quarterback that can extend the play. I'm thinking of a guy that will pick out the defensive scheme within 2 seconds before, snapping the ball, and already knows who he's going to throw to pre-snap, and is deadly accurate. And sure, yeah, he can make the odd out nice play, but more so it's carving through drives and getting down there, because that's just me personally, and I know you probably have a different stance on it, being that you're a Pats fan, or maybe you don't, but that to me is what a prototypical Pats quarterback looks like.
And I think we've kind of gotten lost in it over the last 5 or 6 years, as more guys like Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton was kind of the start of this movement. We kind of get lost in the fact sometimes that some of these quarterbacks can do really great things. Like Patrick Mahomes, can run out of the pocket and do all these sidearm throws, and Lamar Jackson can rush for 1,000 yards in a season because he's done it every single year. He's been a full-time starter. But I think sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle that a quarterback that just kind of stands there and is more of a facilitator and just gets the guys the ball when they're open, when he needs to. It might not be as exciting as watching Mahomes play. It might not be obviously Mahomes can do that. He's the best quarterback in the league. But I think sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle that in the end, all your quarterback really needs to do is just not
be a
hurt
quarterback.
You.
I mean, I feel like that's Daniel Dimes without the issues in ball security and a competent O-line.
But see, that's the thing, is that Daniel Jones is not that, because he hurts you all the time. He actively hurts you sometimes. He'll actively pull a ball down, run for it when he should just throw it away. He'll actively throw an interception when a play when a defense breaks down a play, he'll just launch and throw an interception.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How much of that is the O-line, and yeah, his a little bit. I will give you that. His a little bit. I think he's still having some growing pains, but I also think that could be kind of chalked down to that O-line being not great, and him having to kind of figure out some stuff on the fly when it comes to offense. I see him sometimes running out and just kind of, and let's face it, he's not Lamar, he's not these guys, but he's forced to make these plays out of the pocket, and I think that definitely has something to do with it. I think if you had a better O-line, we'd see sort of a different Daniel Jones. Yeah, if you want my personal opinion. But
I mean, when you see a guy like Cam play or a guy like Lamar Jackson play, it's sometimes they just do things that you're like, whoa.
Oh yeah, well they do that with a competent O-line. They'll just
Mac Jones and Tom Brady, they don't do much that you watch that and you're like, man, that was unbelievable athleticism, but they don't have to.
I watch them and I'm like, I cannot believe that they found that hole in the defense. I cannot believe that was that pinpoint pass that he just made.
And I watched them I can't believe that everybody else in the league just let Mac go to them. He's the picture perfect definition of what they need.
He's the perfect fit for New England.
That's accurate and will just get the guys the ball when he needs to.
If you think about it, he's the perfect pick for New England, and New England is the perfect pick for him.
Yes.
Because if he's on another team, let's just say the Ravens, he's not getting nearly as much playing time as a guy like Lamar.
I think it's fair to say that
and they have the system built around Lamar already. I mean, it's perfect in the sense of what we were talking about, where he's tailor-made for that system.
And I think it's unfair to say if you had to redraft it, you draft Mac Jones first, because that's not necessarily true. Because if you put Trevor Lawrence or Trey Lance or Zach Wilson or any of those guys in the Patriots situation, they might not be doing as well as Mac. They might be doing better than Mac. You don't know, but the point is Mac Jones surely would not be doing this if he played for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's just a fact.
No, not.
So it's definitely a perfect situation type of thing. But at the same time, I don't think it's necessarily fair to degrade Mac based on where he is, because yes, the talent around him is better, but this is also a team a year ago that went 7-9 through 10 games. They've already won 6 of them.
Who's degrading Mac?
There's a lot of people out there. You don't think, have you seen all the under every single social media post about Mac Jones? Every single one of them is talking bad about him. How if it's always O-line or the running game or the people around him. There's a lot of people that still think that Cam Newton should be starting for the Patriots, not Mac Jones.
It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it seems with everything he does,
we found that we found that clearly Cam.
And
Newton,
again, he's not
in the same way that Mac Jones fits so well into that system. I think we've seen that Cam Newton doesn't really fit into that system, and you could write some of it off due to his injury, but
I'm not saying that Mac is like a top 10 quarterback in the league right now.
No.
It's definitely not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's doing exactly what they need him to do, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's all you need. The Patriots, to me, they don't give me the impression. Maybe they could strive for that. It could be like a Yankee situation where every season is like a World Series season or bust. But if you're in the situation like the Patriots are, you're not looking for this star-studded guy. You're looking for someone that can get the job done.
They rely on their defense. They rely on their running game, and anything that the passing game can give them is an added bonus. And so far, it's been giving them more than they need.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've won their last 4 games by like 100 points or something like that combined. Like they've outscored opponents 150-50, and they've played some good teams in that stretch. I mean, they made Cleveland look foolish last week. They just killed Cincinnati, another AFC contender, allegedly. They just killed them last week, and then they walked into New England without Chubb, granted, but the defense looked awful. The offense, after the first drive, couldn't do anything.
So lay off Mac is what we're saying.
I'm just
put some respect on his name.
Patriots, they're dangerous. They're dangerous, and
I've been
saying all year they're gonna be in the mix. They're gonna be in the mix.
I think we said that. I think we coined that on the show. Do you want to move on to some hoops, or we got anything else to talk about with football?
I mean, there's some other things. Bucks the other day, yikes! They got smoked by Washington. Not smoked, I should say. Brady just looked bad.
Yeah, that was on Monday Night Football.
That was Sunday. Monday night was Rams and 49ers.
Yeah, excuse me.
No, yeah, they didn't. It was no good. Brady looked bad early. They kind of made a push late, but losing to Washington, that's 2 losses in a row for them too.
Who's the first?
Tampa. They're first in their division, but I think the number 1 seed right now is the Packers.
Bumps.
We're like me.
I mean, like, it's expected. You drop a few, you're supposed to win. You win a few, you're supposed to drop. Ooh. I think that's the quid pro quo of football and sports in general.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a competitive AFC, NFC, and with fans back this year, home field actually does matter as opposed to last year when it really didn't.
You shouldn't be dropping into Washington.
Definitely
let's face it, they're not really. I mean,
they're still 6-3, and they're going to be fine. But and also, I believe I'm doing the math on this. Hold on. Yep, they are 6-0 in games that Antonio Brown has played. I think, and 0-3 in games that he has not played in.
Is he being targeted heavily?
Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
When he's in, but he's hurt right now. He got COVID at the beginning of the year. He missed a game. They lost to the Rams, and then he's missed the games against the Saints and the.
So even without him, they're. I mean, to me, this seems like a bump in the road. I don't.
They'll be fine, but it's just like you got to win every game you can. Especially with. I mean, New Orleans is kind of nipping at their heels right now, and then when you add in Arizona, who lost the other day because they're all banged up, and then the Rams and the Packers and the Cowboys, all of a sudden it's like, well, there's 4 other teams there. You don't want to have to go to their buildings come playoff time. It's definitely not great. I mean, do you want to go into a full Lambeau in January for the NFC Championship?
No, it's gonna be cold. There's gonna be plenty of Wisconsiners.
You're gonna win because Aaron Rodgers can't win the NFC Championship, but
can't win it to save his life.
I think it's in his contract.
Someone put a gun to his head and said, "Win the AFC Championship."
Do you see who's back today? Now
he'd call up Shailene Woodley and say it's all over. What's up?
Flacco. He's back.
Pretty boy Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
Pretty boy Flacco, I should say.
Is he that a nickname?
I'm coining it.
Oh, so you made that up?
I did. Well, usually they call A$AP Rocky that, but I'm switching it up for.
Gotcha. No, he's back. Yeah, he's starting for the Jets now.
Nice. So they just that carousel of quarterbacks.
Mike White era over.
Yeah.
Zach
the hype train is dead.
Over. Begin the return of Flacco.
A guy that they probably didn't need to pick up in the first place.
They didn't need him. No, it makes no sense. I really don't get it. I mean, I get Zach Wilson's hurt, but I don't know.
Can we call this the Jets every time we mention them on this show? Can we call them the quarterback carousel? I think that's hilarious.
If you want to, I guess.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I want to do that moving forward because that's exactly what they are. It's a quarterback carousel. Yeah, it's like making and ending careers every other week.
Yeah.
Mike White, our guy. Boom. Mark Sanchez.
He hasn't played for them in a while.
But I'm saying it's a good example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The butt fumble, and then after that, it was kind of just...
They have a lot of quarterbacks play for them. There's a lot of people out there that can put New York Jets on their resume.
Fitzpatrick.
Sam Darnold. Josh McCown. Oh,
yeah.
Really get Geno. Did you say Geno yet?
Geno Smith?
Yeah.
We did not say Geno Smith yet.
Chad Pennington.
Yeah. Quarterback carousel, man. You see it this season, and you've seen it in past seasons.
Trying to think of any other.
And also, dude, Mark Sanchez, he was performing well before that. No,
he was always okay.
Yeah.
If you look at his numbers, he was just okay, which is better than what they've had lately. So
yeah,
they were another team that was very good on defense, and the running game helped out a lot.
And then the passing was kind of just whatever they had.
Yeah, whatever you can get. But you can win a Super Bowl like that. You can win a Super Bowl like that. Patriots won 3 of them like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2.
You want to move on to hoops? Can we move on to hoops?
Yeah.
I want to talk to some Steph. Absolutely, he torched the Nets, correct? I have to check the.
No, yeah, he did. He had like 37,
which is wild.
They stink.
The Nets?
Yeah.
I think it's readjustment because obviously with the new school, the new the rule set with what the refs are calling and what they aren't calling. I was looking at these statistics. A lot of the star players this season are really, really struggling because of that. Because they kind of built. It seems like they built their games around getting certain calls that they're just not getting anymore.
I'm totally fine with that. But if James Harden needs the referees to make him into a top 5 player, then he's not.
It's interesting to see the guys that they're like a Trae Young and
obviously
James
Harden's going to heat up, but like they kind of don't have. I don't know. I still think it takes 3 in the NBA.
Well, that's what. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say because obviously you got Kyrie Irving. It's kind of MIA and radio silence from him. I'd like to think with the way the league is set up, and I think we could both agree with this when we say that the league there's not much parity. So the guys that are supposed to win usually pull it out. Yes. I like to think that the Nets can kind of turn it around.
Obviously they will. They're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna make the finals. But like
right now, it's interesting to see the amount of players that are kind of, for lack of a better term, getting exposed by this new rule set.
Yeah, but they'll be fine. I mean, they'll figure it out. But it's
everyone's gonna adjust. But
it's just like they stink right now. And if like you really need that to help you, then like
it's crazy. It's crazy. And some of the younger players too that don't have that, they haven't been in the league long enough to adjust to that rule set. They're kind of flourishing.
But I don't really think it's that much different. Like I think all they're doing is just like you can't pump fake and then jump into somebody and it's a foul now. Like that should have never been part of the game to begin with. So I'm not really sure why there's this big emphasis on that not being called. It should have never been called. It was a bad call to begin with. I get it was the rule, but like
there's an emphasis because all of the players kind of evolved their games around that, and they were abusing it for lack of a better term. Yeah, especially like the most prominent being Trae Young.
But like you can't. I don't know. I hate that excuse because it's like I would like to think that you're not scoring 30 a night because you're jumping into somebody to get a foul every.
No, but it helps. It helps every once in a while. Their numbers haven't decreased dramatically. Like I think Harden's he's in like the 15 to 18 range right now.
I mean,
something along those lines. And he was like a 30 PPG last year. So obviously they're not getting all of their points from that, but
I mean, like I know, for example, like Tatum's struggling this year. He can't shoot anything right now, but like I know it's not because of the adjusted rules.
No, Tatum's just having a little bit of difficulty coming out of the gate.
I think some guys are just like it's just that early season rust. The season only started like a month ago. Like
yeah. Well, as I said, I like it. I like watching the new NBA. It's kind of a little bit more physical for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say there's like too much of a difference though.
There's not it's not a crazy difference, but it is a difference. I think the game flows a little bit more.
Yeah.
There's definitely some more conflicts on the court, with the Jokic and the whole, whether or not that's really not related to the new rule set.
You think it's that much different? I
don't think it's like as I said, I'll reiterate. I don't think it's a night and day difference from the old NBA, but I personally think it makes the game a little bit more enjoyable to watch.
Because like other than like being able to jump into somebody and get it called foul, like if you had told me that they're emphasizing like, maybe hold on your whistle a little bit more, like I don't think I would notice that much.
I've personally noticed.
I still think it's very like touchy. Traveling doesn't exist. Like it's a lot of like one-on-one. I mean, like it's just like normal.
I've personally watched games and
basketball to me.
I have noticed a difference. Just I'm speaking specifically now in the game flow department and the speed of the game department. There's definitely, to me, a noticeable difference.
All right, fair enough.
But with the offensive calls, yeah, I agree. Like I think at the beginning, like I'm gonna say in the beginning weeks of the season, because we're kind of like a month in now. There was a little bit more of a discrepancy because more guys were kind of getting adjusted to that new rule set and trying to see what they could get away with. That's what I genuinely believe. But now it's starting to calm down a little bit. So yeah, like I agree. It's not as night and day as it necessarily was at the beginning of the season, but it's still, it's a little bit more like I've been playing a lot more pickup ball recently, and it kind of, and again, not on that level. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm comparing myself to an NBA star, but
you are
in the gym, guys don't really call fouls like that unless you can't make a bucket. So it's like the game travels a little bit more. Maybe some people get hacked. Maybe it doesn't get called. It reminds me a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just like, I mean, like, granted, like, I don't watch every single game of like every single night, but like, I don't know, like when I turn it on, like I never, or like when I watched like a piece of it, like I'm never like, that would be a foul last year. It's not anymore. Like, I don't know. I maybe it's just me. I typically don't see, other than like the first couple of games in the preseason, like when you'd see the highlights of like Harden like looking for the foul call and it's just not there. Other than that, jumping into somebody is no longer a foul. I don't know, but
you know what it is. Me. I also the internship I work in conjunction with the Nets, and so and not to pull rank on here, Jerry, but
you just pulled rank.
I do have to. I will say
my eyes are more qualified than your eyes.
I will say I have seen, because I have to watch slow motion replays for about 3-4 hours as I sit there of KD, and this was always the case. They were always complaining for calls, but I see a lot more moaning and whining also. Maybe that's just.
But don't you think that has something to do with the fact that they're just not playing well right now?
Because of that's what I'm saying. They're testing. I think they're testing the waters. I think there's certain calls, like I'll see again, the Harden ones, right? Where Harden, I think it was versus Detroit, where he was really, I don't want to say he was getting fouled, but like he was really kind of making his case to the refs that game, especially more so than other games that I'd seen. But I've also seen guys like KD, especially in the mid range when he goes up, he's been complaining a lot more. Whereas in past seasons, and it's only on the Nets, I'll give you that, but that I've seen it, but it's definitely a difference.
But I would argue that's because they're not playing well. Last year they were. Like, I feel like if they played this way last year, they're probably still like, they're just not playing well to me.
I think that offense still has the same pop to it. I think the root of their problems right now
is the fact that they thought they'd have Kyrie and now they don't.
And Harden, though. Harden, obviously,
I mean, yeah, he's not playing well either. Yeah. But like, to be honest, like, I don't know. I mean, I think they're just eventually gonna play better.
Well, yeah, they'll adjust. I think everyone's gonna adjust to this sort of new NBA.
Yeah,
it's a good tweak. I like the tweaks.
Yeah, I mean, I like tweaks. I'm just saying, I don't really think they're there. Like, I know they said they were. But
why don't we? We'll sit down and we'll watch whatever. What is it coming up? So Wednesday now. So what do they have? Like Thursday night showcase or something?
Thursday night. That's for football.
Friday night. Which is it? ESPN. No, we'll catch another game. We'll test our hypotheses. Yeah. What else is there? What else we got to talk about? I haven't checked any hockey.
Noah Syndergaard left the Mets.
Noah Syndergaard left the Mets?
You didn't see that? That happened yesterday.
Where'd he go?
Angels.
Oh wow.
1 year, $21 million deal. End of Thor in New York.
Dang. Huh. That's a good pickup for the Angels.
Well, I mean, he hasn't pitched in 2 years.
I was gonna say he's been injured, but if he can remain healthy,
kind of bad.
If he can remain healthy, it's not like. But that's the thing. It's like one year,
21 million. I mean, like, it's low risk. I mean, they're not taxed long. They're not like taxed holding on to him long term. If it works out, they can extend him. But yeah, I mean,
it's low risk.
It's only like $2.5 million more than the Mets offered him through the qualifying offer. I'm surprised they didn't just splurge on the extra $2.5 million. But
what do you do?
Wilpon era never ended.
I guess not. We're seeing some of the same coupon ways.
Can't afford them.
Tell
you what, the Yankees would have splurged.
Yankees splurged on anyone, man. What do you think about Gary Sanchez? Do you think they should get rid of him?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I've been on that. I've been on the keep Gary Sanchez on the Yankees train for a long time because
keep him or get him off.
I would like them to keep him. Yeah,
keep him on the Yankees.
If I cared about the Yankees,
okay,
I would want. But I've been saying they should keep him for a long time because I think he's just so detrimental to everything they do.
Oh, okay. That's a funny tell. I was like, there's no way that Jerry actually thinks he's a help to the team.
He can't play. He can't play catcher, and he's their everyday catcher. Like when they move to the playoffs, he immediately becomes their backup catcher.
Yeah.
And his offense doesn't back up his lack of defense.
I think the only reason he's still there is because he's got such a pop to his bat. Because Higashioka's, I mean, he kind of had a season last year, or this past year, but he's not. He's like obviously a better defensive catcher.
Oh yeah, big time.
Anyone could be.
Yeah,
I could probably set up there and no, actually, no, let me not say that.
But I mean, he's got a good arm, but he just can't stop baseballs from getting past him, which is kind of
his framing's kind of terrible. Yeah,
it's kind of he's a good framer. He's not a bad framer
not
either.
Framer,
It's just like when balls are in the dirt, he just
plate protection. Excuse me,
but
I thought of the wrong word.
Yeah, I mean, he's a disaster back there. I mean, from what should the Yankees actually do type of standpoint, they should have gotten rid of him like 2 or 3 years ago when his value was higher. He was considered like one of the best catchers in the league at one point. Now he can't. Like Garrett Cole doesn't like throwing to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, that's just
sad times for Yankees fans.
Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But I think they should keep. I would give him a lifetime deal. The Mike Trout 12
give him
year
a coaching job.
12-year, $420 million contract, whatever Mike Trout has,
right up until he retires.
Yeah, I mean, just sign him to a lifetime deal. Tell him you're going to pay him $40 million every year until he retires. So
tell him he can play every other game after he retires if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, other than I don't know, where would you put him in terms of Yankees legends? Because for me, he's up there in the Mantle, Gehrig, Ruth, Jeter, those types of guys.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Speaking of Yankees offseason moves, Carlos Correa said the other day that Derek Jeter deserved exactly 0 of the Gold Gloves he won. And
I saw the comments under that post.
Yeah.
The comments under that post were like, "How about your ring? How about that asterisk ring? How about that trash can ring?" How about, I mean, it pissed a lot of people
Good
off.
For Yankees fans, but they're going to be cheering for him. And when's opening day? 5 months. He's coming to the Yankees, and now all this. I can't wait for this because number one, it makes no difference. Their problems still exist, but the fact that they've kind of trashed this guy for the last. I mean, trash can, but they've trashed this guy for the last 3 years, and now they're going to be cheering for him. It's kind of like
you don't think Yankee fans are that flip-floppish, right? Hypocritical.
You don't think the minute he shows up to Yankee Stadium that every single fan is going to be lining up to applaud him when he hits third on opening day?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to think that fans, after booing someone for however long,
he's the number one free agent on the market right now. There's nobody better than him, and he's arguably one of the best free agents to hit the open market in the last.
I'm not debating that fact. I'm just saying I'd hope that the fans wouldn't. You don't have to loathe the guy if he's on your team, but I mean, if you're,
they did with Garrett Cole, he was part of the Astros too. I mean, he wasn't hitting, but he was there when that was happening,
and he knew he was complicit, right?
Well, I mean, of course he knew. He was on the team.
Yeah.
But I mean, the pitcher's not going to tell you to, stop your little hitting scheme. I mean, he's not going to be like, "Hey guys, come on now, for Pete's sake."
I don't know. I feel like Yankees fans can be a little bit rash and definitely knee jerk.
I think the minute he shows up there, that whole trash can thing is going to get pinned on Altuve and Bregman, and Correa won't be a part of that.
He's actually not that bad of a guy if you think about it.
If you really talk to him, you can understand. He just really wanted to win badly, and whatever you can do to win, that's the Yankee way.
You've persuaded me.
The entire thing is hypocritical, anyways. Beltran brought that whole scheme over from the Yankees. He literally admitted that. It's very hypocritical in my eyes.
Very hypocritical. And your favorite team is probably cheating.
Of course they are.
We've discussed this. I was about to say we've said this before.
Except for the Red Sox and Patriots and Celtics and Bruins. They don't cheat.
They don't cheat. Not at all. Anything else you want to get to today?
Trying to think if there's anything else big that I'm missing here.
No fight sports news.
No.
Think we're good?
Think we're good.
All righty. Well, with that, that's been Pass Me to Rock for the 17th of November, 2021. I've been your host, Jacob Krugman.
Yeah, I'm Jerry.
And I think someone's watching this live, Jerry. It's a couple people, actually.
Nice.
So, thank you to those people, and we'll see you guys next time this week.
No breaking news during this show, because why would there be?
One of these days.
If only the flat code news broke during this, that would have been sick.